Hello guys, and welcome to a new Steel Division video today by me, Vulcan. Today I have for you game 2 out of 2 games between YueJin and włochaty in round 3 of the second European tournament. Today we are going to be seeing Merderet, and on the Allied side YueJin is playing the 4th Armoured, and on the Axis side włochaty has chosen the 3rd Fallschirmjager. Now in the first game we did see that włochaty really did a number on YueJin, took the 2nd Armoured and rolled over the 12th SS Panzer after some really good micro, some really good trading with the expensive units, and it was just something that YueJin couldn't come back from due to the low income of the 12th SS in the early game, and therefore YueJin got overran. Not really some great unit choices into phase B meant that he really let himself get the better of by włochaty. In this one, 4th Armoured, certainly a strong division for the Allied side, but not necessarily the best map for them. On the side of the Axis, that 3rd Fallschirmjager does have the infantry, of course, that could make this map work very well indeed. So what I'd like to see from YueJin is definitely some sort of focus more on this bottom side where he can utilize the range of the machine guns to overwhelm the defenses of the 3rd Fallschirmjager and basically make ground that way. Whereas when he fights maybe across these areas in the center, if there's Fallschirmjagers placed here, for example, or down here, the rifles of the 4th Armoured are going to find it hard to fight across, and that is definitely something that włochaty can take advantage of. The other thing that we have seen from włochaty in the past, though, is just his general great use of infantry. We've seen him play the 17th SS in the past, where he basically focuses entirely on infantry, utilizing things like Panzerschrecks and just good recon in order to sort of overwhelm opposing infantry, just like great unit compositions that really work well together. So włochaty, I think, will definitely be making use of things like the Fallschirmspähtruppe, the Fallschirmpanzerabwehr, the Fallschirmjägers, of course, and sort of a combination of those to get the job done. Over on the side of YueJin, let's have a quick zoom over to some of these units going down to see what he wants to get up to. So it looks like it's actually going to be an M8 cavalry start. There is the choice of Abrams, of course. You also have the Hellcats that the 4th Armoured is well known for, but the Hellcats, not necessarily the best pick for this map. So just like in the last game where włochaty made use of the M8 Spies to find ground, it looks like in this case YueJin is going to be using the M8 Cavalries. He's going to be backing those up with a few units of rifles, and he's got some armoured rifles in there with the Command. On the bottom side he has got Abrams. That's going to be accompanying 3 units of rifles, so a very heavy armoured start from YueJin, just supported by rifles to hold the front line forwards. Over on the side of włochaty, on this top side we do have the Fallschirmführer with the Fallschirmpanzerschreck. That's probably going to be Fallschirmpanzerabwehr or Fallschirmspähtruppe with a couple of units of Fallschirmjägers. Further down it's going to be the Fallschirmflammenwerfers, following up a couple units of Fallschirmjägers with the Fallschirmpanzerabwehr or Fallschirmspähtruppe with the Command Infantry. These could also be the Fallschirmscharfschützers. And then on the bottom side we have the Fallschirmpanzerschreck and another unit of Fallschirmjägers. So basically a completely infantry-based start for włochaty. On this top side though, M8 Cavalries, they're going to be looking for an engagement with these vehicles, but they are being, or having their aim broken by these trees, which has allowed the units to fast move to their locations and get unloaded in time. So that is nice for włochaty. Seems he knows just how far he can get them before he needs to unload them, and that's stopping these M8 Cavalries from firing just yet. However, these Fallschirmjägers, they are going to take a lot of damage, but the Panzerschreck here does come in hot, bails out the M8 Cavalry. Nice hit there. These are the Fallschirmscharfschützer on the top side. They're going to be going for the armoured LMG rifles, but we can see that the Fallschirmjägers are already in trouble. They are going to be falling back in the wrong direction, but the Fallschirmpanzerabwehr is nearby, so it should stop these Fallschirmjägers from surrendering. Also, the Fallschirmführer is just about keeping in range there to stop these from surrendering just yet. Surely that's going to be a surrender, or maybe the Fallschirmpanzerabwehr is just close enough to stop that happening, or maybe even those rifles can't see them just yet. That is incredible. Yeah, or maybe he can see them. Okay. Well, that Fallschirmpanzerabwehr must be just in range. But nice bailout there onto the M8 cavalry. Initially, Fallschirmjager is going to be taking on the rifles at an ideal range. They are using all of their guns. On the bottom side, we see the Fallschirm sharpshooter with the Fallschirmführer used at close range to pin the rifles very quickly. That Gewehr can really get the job done. So that's exactly what happened. Oh, nice kill though. Nice couple kills. Fallschirmpanzerabwehr go down to the rifles. Therefore, the Fallschirmjägers were surrendered. Fallschirmpanzerschreck on the top side going to be hit hard by the M8 cavalry. And we see that Panzerschreck go down. So now it's just a matter of Włochaty bringing in some more reinforcements to control this aggression from YueJin. So far, it looks like Włochaty has done a very good job. These rifles, they are not going to be surrendering today due to the armoured leader being nearby, getting that smoke down just in time to stop these rifles from falling prey to a surrender. CGMC has been brought in at close range. That can definitely do a lot of damage to infantry. Now we see a breakthrough in the mid though from Włochaty. He's used the Fallschirmjäger, Fallschirmflammenwerfer combination to break on through. These rifles are going to come under fire from that flamethrower soon. You can see just the pathing of these infantry squads is just so superb from Włochaty, and it really does allow him to overwhelm these infantry units. Finds the surrender there after the Fallschirmjägers pinned down the rifles that did not have command nearby. On the top side, we see the Fallschirmführer go down. The sharpshooters are going to be engaging the rifles. A very explosive start in this game. Both players trying to outmaneuver one another. Currently, Włochaty getting the better of YueJin with the 57% territory lead. This salient in the middle definitely adding up. And these sharpshooters, wow, they are certainly doing a number on the rifles in the area. We'll have to see if the armoured LMG rifles can do much, but I doubt they will. Honestly, the sharpshooters at that range, they have 9 HE. They also have superb suppression with the G43s. So these armoured LMG rifles, they will suffer. They can only use 4 HE at close range, and that's something that is getting the better of YueJin. Will pin down those armoured LMG rifles, and they're going to have to fall back as soon as possible. Won't be surrendered due to these guys being recon. On the bottom side, Fallschirmjägers are now engaging these rifles. Again, ideal engagement range over the 100 meter range. The Fallschirmjägers can use all of their weapons at the same time, and that gives them a superb HE value of 14. All that kind of range is really, really good. Now, Abrams is trying to make some ground. It is, however, not supported by too much, and that could definitely be an issue. There needs to be some rifles nearby, honestly, to protect either side. Otherwise, things like Panzerschrecks can do the damage, and that's something that Włochaty has realized and will be bringing in a Panzerschreck to this bottom side. Fallschirmpanzerabwehr and the Fallschirmflammenwerfer in really good positions in these two buildings. Really nice move there from Włochaty. It means that if any units ever get close there without recon, the Fallschirmflammenwerfer will be able to pin them down very quickly and probably win out due to having cover, whilst the units approaching will not. Here comes the M21 mortar carrier though, going to help pin down the Fallschirmführer and the Fallschirmjäger, and that may allow the M3A1 half-track here to find a couple of surrenders, but really does depend on whether or not this Fallschirmjäger gets pinned down in time. If it does not, then the M3A1 may just be mincemeat for the Panzerfaust. Either way, on the top side, Pack 41 has come in to stabilize. The Pack 30, or the second M8 has gone down, and it looks like Włochaty really cleaning up that top side aggression, leaving just infantry there accompanied by a couple of support vehicles to hold the line. The M21 mortar carrier though has potential to do a lot of work on this bottom side, but a +2 sitting in Włochaty's favour at the moment is really, really dire for YueJin. If he cannot gain ground early on, then Włochaty may be able to start investing in some of his air force due to having like an abundance of points, due to not having too much aggression, and that's exactly what he's decided to do. He's brought in the HS-129B1. That's going to be going for the shots onto the M4 Abrams. Can he find the kill? He finds the weapon jam and the kill. Critical ammo explosion. HS-129 does its job. M4 Abrams does go down. M8 Cavalry now getting aggressive as well. It does have to be very careful of the Fallschirmpanzerabwehr, but it really does depend on what's here. He's going in blind. There is no recon, and he's probably going to get punished for it if he's not too careful. The Fallschirmpanzerabwehr is going to be swapping around with the Fallschirmflammenwerfer. You can see that he's used the smoke to stop the YueJin from seeing the movement here in a really nice play. I love Włochaty's micro, and YueJin's had enough. That is it. M8 cavalries are dead across the board. Abrams went down. Incredible stuff. 6 minutes and 56 seconds. YueJin bails out of that one. And Włochaty takes the victory. What an explosive game. I definitely enjoyed casting that, but it is a shame it was so quick. Holy moly. All of the important units, though, that YueJin could have used to push had died by that point. But I am very surprised that YueJin gave that. I think it just came as like a matter of allowing those units to be killed. Obviously, it comes a lot down to Włochaty's micro and having units in the right positions, and I think that's something that he does very well when he focuses on infantry, and it's like incredibly obnoxious to push into. So you really need to have to rely on that infantry and recon, and that was something that it looked like YueJin in general lacked. Moving into things like Panzerschrecks and Fallschirmjager, which are really, really brutal in close range engagements. So that's kind of what caught out YueJin, allowed him to be picked off like that in the early game. 475 kills to 170 losses for Włochaty. Gets the job done with the 3rd Fallschirmjager versus the 4th Armored. That is not a result you would see very often, but obviously comes down a lot to the map and how Włochaty really utilized the middle of the map to make a lot of ground early on into those rifles. I'm just incredibly surprised that YueJin fell prey to that, because I think it would be much easier to invest some rifles to counteract Fallschirmjagers, because at close range, say 100 meter range, rifles actually do pretty well. You saw them defeat the Fallschirmpanzerabwehr and the Fallschirmjagers that were already pinned, but still picking up those 2 kills was nice. And if maybe YueJin had invested into more rifles in the early game, then in like over things like the M8 or even M4 Abrams, then I think we may have seen a bit of a different game. But the Abrams was taken out, and so were the 2 M8 cavalries on the top side, and that is severe punishment for YueJin's choice of units at the start of the game, not having enough recon there to accompany those and being caught out because of it. That's pretty much your lot. So yeah, rifles go and kill a few units there. You can see they do well at close range. This was the only 100 meter range engagement they had though, and then a couple of Panzerschreck kills there. But on the side of Włochaty, he melted the forces of YueJin. Fallschirm Sharpshooter, both at close range and long range, do very well, and you saw them utilized perfectly in this game. HS129, really clean kill onto Abrams. I would say that was relatively lucky. It really does depend. I didn't see if it was a side shot, but either way, nice kill for the HS129. And the Pak-41 was the one that got the kill onto the M8 on the top side, and it looks like the Fallschirmjagers probably cleaned up the one that was bailed out. So there you go. That is it. YueJin, unfortunately, losing this one. Commiserations to him. Włochaty going 2-0 versus YueJin. Very surprisingly quick game here in the second one between these two. Just Włochaty's infantry micro and his micro in general across both of these games has been incredible to watch. So hopefully you guys have enjoyed it as much as I have. Apologies that the video is so short, but there is not too much I can do about that. I casted these 2 games because they were 2 fantastic players, and good plays do come out of these, and we did see that. The infantry micro in this one, the M8 spy micro in the last one. And that's really what I think these competitive commentaries should be all about. Just pointing out those great plays so that you guys who watch, who play or maybe don't, can take those and either be amazed by them or try and do them yourselves. So yeah, hopefully you guys have enjoyed this one. Moving on to the next round, the round following, the matches should get closer, so it should be like less one-sided. I know some of you guys have been like sort of complaining about how it's quite predictable or whatever, but unfortunately, again, there's not much I can do about that. I just cast the games that I think are going to be good, and honestly, if you focus on the plays that occur as opposed to the outcome, I think that's a great way to look at the game. So either way, that's all. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.